Have you ever paused to wonder, are you really the person who is thinking your thoughts? Or are they just noise planted by a society that taught you who to be before you ever asked who you really are? This question invites you to look deeper into the silence beneath the storm. Our minds are not just vessels for random ideas. They are shaped by influences from our past experiences and societal norms. In this video, we're diving deep into the mind, beyond the noise, beyond the programming. Together, we'll peel back the layers of thought and ask the question most people never dare to: are these thoughts even mine? When you begin to see who's really pulling the strings, you automatically reclaim the power to choose what you believe, how you feel, and who you truly are. This isn't just self-awareness, it's inner freedom. Let's begin. Thoughts are more than just words in your head. They shape how you see the world, how you act, and even who you think you are. They're born from layers of emotion, memory, and experience. Sparked by the brain, yes, but influenced by everything you've ever been told, felt, or feared. The question is, how much of it is truly you? Some thoughts you're fully aware of. You catch them as they form. Others, they move in silence, beneath your awareness, shaping your choices without ever asking permission. This quiet split between the conscious and the unseen is what makes the mind so powerful and so mysterious. As we move through this journey, don't just listen, look inward. Start to notice your own thought patterns. What's really shaping the way you think? Are there hidden beliefs running the show behind the scenes? The more you become aware of what's beneath the surface, the more power you gain to rewrite the script and grow into who you were always meant to be. The subconscious mind is like the hidden engine beneath your awareness, quiet, unseen, but running the whole show. It holds your memories, your beliefs, your emotional imprints, especially the ones from childhood. And without even realizing it, those old patterns still shape the way you think, feel, and respond today. To understand yourself now, you have to look at what's been silently guiding you all along. For instance, if you faced criticism in your youth, you may subconsciously develop self-doubt, affecting your confidence in adulthood. Let's take the example of Josh, for example. He's 40 now, successful on paper, respected at work, always pushing for more. But no matter how much he achieves, there's this quiet tension under the surface, a voice that says, "You're still not enough." That voice, it didn't start in adulthood. It began decades ago in his childhood living room. Josh grew up with a father who rarely offered praise. Mistakes were always magnified. Successes were always expected. The words, "I'm proud of you," were never spoken. There was only silence, or worse, comparison. Over time, Josh began to internalize a message: "I'm not worthy." He didn't choose that belief, it chose him. Now, as a grown man, he finds himself chasing external validation, overworking, overthinking, doubting every decision, never realizing he's still trying to earn the approval of a father who could never give what he himself had never learned to feel. But here's the truth. That belief is just a shadow. It isn't who Josh is. It's just a memory playing on repeat until he sees it clearly and lets it go. And that's where healing begins. Subconscious influences can be seen in the little things, like reaching for comfort food the moment stress hits, or feeling a wave of anxiety in a room full of strangers without knowing why. These aren't just habits. They're echoes, traces of old stories still living in the body. And when you start to notice them, not judge, just notice, you finally begin to see how the subconscious has been shaping your life from the shadows, thought by thought, choice by choice. Your thoughts don't arise in a vacuum. They're shaped, molded by everything you take in, the content you consume, the posts you compare yourself to, the stories you hear repeatedly until they feel like truth. Without even realizing it, the world whispers into your mind, framing how you see others and how you see yourself. But once you become aware of that influence, you can begin to question it and choose your own lens. Additionally, cultural norms and values provide a backdrop against which we interpret our experiences and make decisions. It tells us what's normal, what's right, what's worth chasing. And then there are the people around us, family, friends, coworkers, each one shaping us in subtle ways. A single comment can affirm a belief or plant doubt. Most of the time, we don't even notice it happening, but once you do, you start to realize not every thought you carry is yours to keep.
As you reflect on this, consider who or what influences your beliefs. Are there specific voices that shape your opinions? Whose voice echoes in your mind when you make a choice, speak your truth, or doubt yourself? A parent, a friend, a teacher, a screen? When you begin to see the fingerprints on your thoughts, you also begin to see what's not really you. And in that awareness so lies your power to choose again, to think clearly, to live from your own truth.
So how do we realign with what's true? It starts with presence, not the kind you force, but the kind you feel. Mindfulness and thought awareness. It's the art of simply being here, fully awake to what's unfolding inside you. Your thoughts, your breath, the way your body responds to a single moment of stillness. When you practice watching your thoughts without chasing them, without judging them, you begin to see their patterns. You begin to see yourself. Try it in the quiet. Try it while walking, eating, listening. Notice the texture of each moment. There's wisdom in the ordinary if you're present enough to feel it. And the more you do this, the more space you create between you and the voice in your head. And in that space lives freedom. You can also begin to shift the tone of your inner voice. This isn't about blind optimism or sugarcoating life. It's about choosing thoughts that heal rather than harm. Positive thinking isn't just a feel-good trend. It's a quiet rebellion against the inner critic. It's the choice to speak to yourself with kindness, especially when it's hardest. Simple words like, "I am capable," or "I am allowed to grow through this," can begin to soften old patterns of doubt. And over time, these words become more than affirmations. They become truths your nervous system starts to believe. Because when you change the way you speak to yourself, you don't just change your mindset. You change your reality from the inside out. When spoken with presence and intention, affirmations begin to shift the inner landscape. They help untangle old, limiting patterns, replacing them with clarity, compassion, and strength. Say these affirmations daily, not to escape life's challenges, but to meet them with a steady heart. These aren't just words, they're invitations, each one planting seeds in the soil of your mind. Pair them with gratitude. Surround yourself with voices that uplift. Let your inner world become a space of quiet encouragement. Because when you choose positivity, not as denial but as devotion, you begin to radiate it. And that ripple touches not just your thoughts, but your relationships, your energy, your life. Negative thinking often stems from patterns such as catastrophizing, overgeneralization, or self-criticism, which can be rooted in past experiences or societal expectations. Recognizing these thought patterns is the first step toward overcoming them. Cognitive behavioral techniques, such as questioning the validity of negative thoughts or identifying evidence that contradicts them, can be highly effective. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I always fail," challenge that by recalling past successes. You can also begin to shift the way you see things by reframing your thoughts. Instead of seeing a setback as a failure, try viewing it as a lesson. An opportunity to grow or see something you may have missed. This doesn't mean ignoring the difficulty, but choosing to respond with awareness rather than judgment. The more you practice this, the more your mindset begins to shift. You'll notice less negativity, more clarity, and a stronger sense of control over how you experience life. Reframing helps you move from reaction to reflection, and from there to real empowerment. You see, there is a deep connection between what we think and how we experience the world. Our thoughts shape the way we perceive reality, and over time they begin to influence the outcomes we attract. This is the essence of manifestation, Not in a magical sense, but in the way our beliefs shape our behavior, our energy, and the decisions we make. For example, if someone consistently visualizes success and believes in their potential, they're more likely to take confident steps toward their goals. That mindset alone can open doors. In the same way, when you approach life with a sense of abundance rather than lack, you're more open to opportunities and positive experiences. It's powerful to realize that your thoughts are not just private, they're creative. They build the framework of your reality, moment by moment. We invite you to start taking ownership of your thoughts, to become more intentional about where your attention goes. When you choose to focus on what's possible instead of what's lacking, you begin to shift your entire mindset. It's not always easy, but with practice, that shift can lead to real change. Over time, your thoughts start to support your growth instead of holding you back. And from there, you begin to create a life that reflects the clarity, peace, and purpose within you. Becoming more aware of your thoughts doesn't have to be complicated. There are simple, practical ways to build that awareness every day. One powerful tool is journaling. By writing down your thoughts and emotions regularly, you start to notice patterns, what triggers certain feelings, and how your mind reacts to different situations. It's a way to bring the unconscious into the light. Meditation is another helpful practice. Even just a few minutes of stillness each day can quiet the noise and create space for clearer, more intentional thinking. If you're not sure where to start, apps like Mindfulness can offer guided meditations and support. There's a link in the description if you'd like to explore that. Even small practices can make a big difference. Something as simple as focusing on your breath for a few moments can bring you back to center and help you notice what's really going on in your mind. Sharing your reflections with others can also be powerful. Talking with people you trust or joining group discussions often reveals new perspectives you hadn't considered. Sometimes, hearing someone else's story helps you understand your own a little more. Try making these practices part of your regular routine. The more you do, the more clearly you'll begin to see yourself, and from that awareness, real growth begins. As we close this video, we invite you to take a small but meaningful first step. Type these words in the comments. I am already whole. Let it be a quiet commitment to yourself, a reminder that everything you need is already within you. It may seem simple, but this kind of declaration creates a signal to your subconscious, a reminder that healing doesn't begin in the future. It begins now. If this message spoke to you, consider subscribing so we can keep walking this path together. And if someone in your life might need to hear this today, share it with them. This video may be exactly what someone needs to hear today. You can also explore our other videos for more tools and reflections on mastering your inner world. Until next time, stay present, stay aware, and remember, you are already whole.